Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Hafizatul Fasiha binti Nordin with student ID 2023460166 from class Chemistry 131 Part 1 Group 3. Okay, so now I will present about chemical equation in oxygen cycles. But before that, I want you to know about the contents of this topic, which firstly, I will introduce to you about the oxygen cycle, and secondly, I will point out the general processes that involve in oxygen cycle, and thirdly, I will state the chemical equation for the general processes. And for the learning outcomes, we should be able to determine the chemical equation for each processes that involve in oxygen cycles. But maybe I think there is some of you that have a question about what is oxygen cycle. So let me introduce it to you. Okay, so oxygen cycle is actually defined by the biogeochemical cycle that involves the circulation of oxygen atoms. And also, it portrays how the flow of oxygen occurs through several parts of our vast ecosystem. Besides, it also describes how the movement of the oxygen in the atmosphere, which from the air we breathe, and also inside all the biological beings, which is biosphere, and inside the Earth's crust, which is lithosphere. As you can see in the graphic that I have provided, this is actually the oxygen cycle circulation. Okay, so from the atmosphere, we can see the oxygen gas will go to the animal by process respiration, and by animal death, they will have a decomposition process, and it will turn to fossil fuels, and the fossil fuels will used by industrial combustion. And also, it's similar to plant, which the oxygen gas from the atmosphere will go to the plant by respiration process, and when it decay, it will have decomposition and turns to fossil fuels, and it will used by industrial combustion. But there have a difference between the plant and animal, which the plant will have a photosynthesis process, which will release back the oxygen gas to the atmosphere. Therefore, there have three general processes that involve in oxygen cycle, which is firstly photosynthesis process, and secondly respiration, and thirdly decomposition. What is photosynthesis? Okay, so it's actually a process which green plants and other organisms that use the energy from the sunlight and transform it into chemical energy, which is carbon dioxide and water, produce it into glucose and oxygen. So next, this is the equation for photosynthesis, which is 6 molecule CO2 carbon dioxide plus 6 molecule H2O water, and produce it by process photosynthesis that captured sunlight energy by chlorophyll into a C6H12O6 molecules, which is glucose, plus 6 molecule O2 oxygen. The next process is respiration, which is the biochemical process in which the cells of an organism obtain the energy by combining the glucose and oxygen, and resulting to the release of the CO2, which is carbon dioxide gas. So this is actually the equation for the respiration process, which is glucose molecule C6H12O6 combined with oxygen and produce to 6 molecule CO2 and 6 molecule water, and also adenosine triphosphate energy. What is actually adenosine triphosphate energy? So So ATP energy is actually the primary energy carrier in the living things like animals that have ATP, plants, and any biological beings. And this is the last process, which is decomposition. So decomposition process is a process which that organic substances are broken down into a simpler organic or inorganic matter. Next, there have a general form for equation for the composition process, which as you can see, AB reactant will produce two simpler molecules like A plus B. For an example, zinc carbon trioxide will produce by heat to zinc oxide plus carbon dioxide. And the equation for an organism decomposition is like this. O2 oxygen molecule plus CH2O is organic matter and produce two nutrients. Neither it is nitrate, phosphate, iron, silica or any nutrient among them, and also plus carbon dioxide and plus water. And there will have a chemical energy remaining. So I think that's all from me. Before that, I want to apologize if there have a mistake that I have been do, maybe from the slide or from my explanation. I'm so sorry, and thank you for your attention. I hope from this presentation it will help you to gain more knowledge about this topic, which is chemical equation in oxygen cycle. Thank you. So for the last, this some of my references that helped me to do this presentation video. Thank you.